Um, future iPad news.
Apple patent suggests iPad could transform into Mac OS-like experience. Well, that's the dream come true. You attach the keyboard, now you have a laptop. I wonder, well, I don't know. I mean, they probably have good reason. They want you to buy everything. So they're like, we can't give you too many things in one.
They can't
And also, Microsoft tried to do it with the Surface products. Microsoft was all about it. They're like, they tried a dual interface thing, and it was kind of a disaster. Or I guess not enough people bought it. You would have a separate UI when the thing was in one particular form factor versus another. I don't know if that's confusing to people, but for me, that seems so optimal that I could have it docked on a keyboard and it works like a laptop, and then I pull it off and it goes back to touch-based interface.
How often do you use the iPad though? Like the actual tablet?
Absolutely never. Me personally, I've tried, but I've tried, Mo.
Right.
Don't look at me that way. You've tried too.
Yeah, no, I like it.
You reach for the laptop.
I reach for the laptop, but when I'm shooting B-roll, I like the iPad as like a checklist. I can keep it on me, especially the mini, the one you took away.
I hate that iPad.
We'll bring it back.
I will. If I can find it, I'll bring it back because the screen to me is just like jarring.
Oh, really? Why?
Refresh rate?
It's not very good. It's just not a very good display.
Right.
Maybe
I guess what I use it for.
What you were using it for is fine, but
right.
I'm just, compare. And by the way, I'm not saying all iPad displays. I'm saying the mini compared to the other, and obviously you look at the spec, it's the price. It's
right.
Can't be. But if you have the other one lying there, you're not reaching for it.
Yeah.
You have the other one there. It looks 1,000 times better, the iPad Pro. So here we have a patent, which was reported by Patently Apple. No surprise. Wide-ranging its potential implementation, Apple regularly patents dozens of ideas. There used to be a thing back in the day that attempted to take your MacBook and turn it into a Mac OS.
Your iPad, you mean?
Touch. No. Your MacBook. It would flip the screen around and then...
Whoa.
Dude, I wanted one of these so bad.
And you can interact with it as a touchscreen?
Ever remember the name on it. But they would essentially take apart a MacBook.
Okay.
Flip the display around.
Right.
Put it inside of a new enclosure and put a digitizer touchscreen on it. So you can now interact with a pen.
Whoa.
It was a MacBook, but an iPad.
That's kind of genius.
I know for Will, it's like an impossible Google right now. He would need to remember the name of it, or somebody in the chat would need to remember the name of it. But it's not DIY. There was a company selling it.
Right. Apple probably didn't like this, though.
Of course not. They didn't like it. But it was at a time where the conversation around Mac OS on a tablet style of interface was at an all-time high. People were like, I would love to have a tablet running Mac OS.
Right.
Did we do a video on it?
No, I never got one. It was actually probably before I was really on YouTube. That's how old this idea was. Modbook Pro. Type Modbook Pro. Why did I just remember that? There you go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mo.
Wow, this is very cool.
So you can now just imagine you got the full thing going on, the full Mac OS, but touch-based.
But touch-based, yeah.
So all types of things you don't require secondary. If you were one of these people who would use a Cintiq or some type of tablet for art and things like this, but the software you like to use for whatever reason was on Mac OS, not such an issue now, but
this was a while ago.
Well, it first surfaced in 2008. That'll bring you back. But when I was a young man, any new type of gadget, like I was keeping track of this stuff even before YouTube. And you can see they went to Kickstarter with like a newer version, Modbook Pro X. I don't know what's going on with the company. This is not an endorsement or anything. Like I really just don't even know what happened to it. But obviously if Apple did it in an official way, that would be more ideal because they wouldn't have to be, I mean, they could just engineer they're kind of good at that hardware stuff. But for whatever reason, up until now, they've been committed to this idea of having them be completely separate with very little crossover and saying, nope, on the iPad, you are in iPad land, and on the MacBook, you're in MacBook land. But I guess that could change at some point if this patent ever comes to fruition in a product. But often it's important to note sometimes they'll do something like this and actually have no intention of building it. Maybe I shouldn't say no intention, but they're in no rush. They're just getting it out of the way so that they can have and own the patent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a look at how it might operate. A clicking upper unit that goes into the keyboard section. This is a lot like the Microsoft Surface Book. Surface Book? Yeah, Surface Book. A lot like it. Surface Book is cool, but there's something that's off about it with having so much weight in the display because all the computing power is in the upper portion. It's a little top heavy, and believe it or not, there's some complexities with this design. Mm-hmm. You had to still find a way to have that screen portion because on a laptop, it's so lightweight. Like imagine if Mo ripped off the screen of that MacBook Air and it was a tablet.
It's just nothing.
But imagine if your tablet, fully functioned, fully powered, was that thin and light. It's almost like paper.
Yeah.
It would be incredible. You'd use, that's science fiction.
Yeah.
When it's that thinness, let's go.